The goal of the show is to help you break in and thrive in advertising. And we do that every single week by sharing the stories and advice of those rocking it on the other side. Today, we're joined by Jason Harris. Jason's like one of my favorite people in advertising. When we recorded this, it was our first time like hanging out in person. But since we recorded this, seen him at many industry events, and he is the real deal. He is the co-founder of Mekanism today, and he's going to talk about how he founded it, how he's growing it, and all of his plans for the future, how he broke into the business. But he has aura. Like when I see him at events, people go up to him. He dresses so well. He's an awesome guy. You guys are going to want to work with him, work for him, potentially reach out. He also has a podcast that's probably much, much better than this. It's like won a bunch of awards. Yes, podcasts can win awards, and he's done that for the Soul and Science podcast that he runs. Now on with the show. This is the Breaking and Entering Advertising Podcast. And as usual, I'm your accomplice, Geno Schellenberger. Kick it, Ellie. Jason Harris, welcome to the Breaking and Entering Advertising Podcast. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on,
Frick yeah.
Do you have a podcast voice that's different than your regular voice?
Yes.
I do.
And then it trickles away during the show.
Yeah, but it starts out a little more high
Yeah,
energy.
we're feeling good right now, and then I'll just get slumped.
Good.
Like
then
this.
you go back to normal.
Yeah.
All right, great. I'll try it.
You're a podcast host.
I am. I have a podcast voice.
Can I hear your best podcast voice right now? Like you're trying, you have like your dream CMO guest on.
Yeah,
like
sure.
You research, you did your homework.
Welcome to the Breaking and Entering Podcast. This is your host, Jason Harris, and we have William White from Walmart on the podcast today. It's like that. It's like a radio host.
Yeah.
But then you're right, about like 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it trickles away.
It just goes away.
Well, Ellie will give us like a reminder if we're like losing our podcast voice.
Okay.
So
yeah.
she'll
I don't
let
know.
us
Maybe we just try something different.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you speak any other languages?
I used to speak Spanish. I kind of lost it though. How about you?
I took French in high school, and I have none of that recalled.
No.
I was gonna say if we could do it in a different language, but
you knew you didn't know a language. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's do this.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you a question. What do you like to do outside of advertising first and foremost?
What do I like to do outside advertising?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have 3 kids. So I have 2 high school kids, 2 high school boys, and really young daughter.
Okay.
Just turned a year. So there's like a huge
There's a gap there.
There's a big gap.
Yeah.
Big age gap. But this year they wanted to learn golf, so we learned golf together.
Nice.
So the 3 of us play pretty much every weekend now.
Nice.
And I've really become addicted to it.
It's so great.
I thought it was like a super douchey sport for a long time. But then I started playing, and I really got into it.
Yeah, getting outside.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be very good. Like, the
really
one swing
helps if you're okay, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get good.
It's very frustrating. I think it, like, mirrors a lot of, daily human emotions that you go through. You get really frustrated. Something good will happen, and you'll be on a high.
Yep.
Then the next hole, you'll bomb it, and you'll get back down to earth or back down to normal. And I think, like, a day on the course really embodies like what life's like.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially for those creative professionals that are coming up with ideas constantly. Some of them hit, and a lot of them get killed.
Yeah. Or you pitching all the time. You win, you lose. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that. So that's one thing I do outside of work, and love seeing concerts. Love going to see music.
That's in our rapid fire question.
All right, we'll hold that one.
Yeah, hold on that.
Hold on that. I don't know. What else do I like?
Chill.
Same shit everyone likes. Travel. Love to travel. My favorite place is Jamaica.
That's another rapid fire question.
Should I hold off on that?
Let's get into the rapid fire question because you're already peppering into these.
Okay,
Jason. Right. Did you read the show notes?
I did not. You told me not to. To wing it.
There's no preparation here.
Okay, cool.
No preparation. All right.
Yes, rapid fire.
Here we go. Where are you most creative?
Probably in the morning outside. Yeah. Somewhere outside in the morning.
Like going you got a backyard or something?
No backyard. Just like walking my dog. But I like, as the day goes on, I wear out. Mm-hmm. So the mornings when
Yep.
I'm at my peak form.
Yep. Yep. What's your greatest source of inspiration?
Greatest source of inspiration for life, for work, for anything? Yes, everything.
I did a head nod for those listening.
Greatest source of inspiration, I think, is just tapping into, what you're witnessing, what you see out there, and getting either jealous or fired up, or just like taking in ideas and then absorbing them and then trying to figure out how that might relate to something you're working on.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. It's a more observational approach there.
Observational, yeah.
I like that. What's the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life, sir?
My entire life, my best concert. When I was really young, I saw the Smashing Pumpkins
Nice.
open up for the Red Hot Chili Peppers that opened up for Pearl Jam.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's fire.
Yeah. But at the time, I didn't appreciate it as much. As time goes on, you realize those are all like legendary
For sure.
bands. But
For sure.
that was pretty
Where was that at?
I think it was in DC, like some college in DC.
Gotcha.
I can't remember what.
Gotcha. That's a good concert. What are you currently streaming or watching right now?
American University.
There we go.
Okay. What am I streaming or watching right now? I'm watching that Jason Momoa show.
What's he doing
It's
in
called like Chief of War.
Cool.
It's about how it's about all the fighting between the islands in Hawaii, like Oahu, Hawaii, Kauai, and they're all fighting to have like one ruler.
It's sick.
It's really cool.
I'll have to check that out.
That's good.
All right. What's the greatest place you've ever visited?
My favorite place is Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
You go there often?
Yeah, I go there I got engaged in Jamaica, married in Jamaica. I try to go there like twice a year.
Love that.
It's my favorite place. My happy place, yeah.
Best thing you've ever read? It could be social media, article, a book. It could be recent too. It doesn't
Anything.
have to
My favorite author is Matt Haig.
be
So anything from Matt Haig. One of my favorite books is How to Stop Time. Guy's a fucking genius.
All right.
I'd recommend him.
I'm checking that out.
All right.
Got it. All right. That concludes the rapid fire. How do you do, Ellie? What would you give that a scale of 1 to 10?
12.
12.
But really like a 7.
7. Yeah.
No.
I'll take 12.
Speed.
No,
Yeah. If we're based off speed, it was probably like a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it could be faster.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all good. All good. But yeah, well, the goal of this show is to help the next generation learn more about you, more about your agency, and your best advice, really. So tell me about Mekanism.
Sure.
Give me the rundown. What do you guys do best, better than any other agency out there?
Well, we're really we've repositioned the agency like 4 times since we started, and so I think one thing we do well is we really started as like a digital production agency, just doing projects, and that was sort of fresh at the time, way back when. Then we did viral marketing projects, so we became really well known doing viral work. Then we started to build out an agency. So we really kind of transitioned based on what was happening in the market at the time. So we're always kind of pivoting the company. And right now we're really about bringing brand and performance together. So our positioning is a soul and science agency. Mm-hmm. So we're really about brand building and brand building for clients. And then
it's a soul, right?
It's a soul, yeah.
Yep,
And then the performance is the science and engineering, how to make the work for clients. And that's what we're really good at.
There's no way you can do both at the same time. Is that possible? Because I thought there's brand marketing and then there's performance marketing.
Well, you have to figure out how to do both. You have to figure out how to take like the big brand platform or the big idea, and then bring that down to sort of the
email.
Yeah, the mid and lower funnel work, and make sure that it's consistent, but that work is like hitting quarter to quarter goals for your client. But longer term, you're also building the big brand. So it all has to work in conjunction. And I think for kind of what you're saying, I think is is how most people think about it. Is you can either do this over here or this over here, but I think the idea is to try to do it combined.
Yeah.
Put them together.
Yeah. So do you have to hire then? Like, what does the structure of the agency look like? Do you have like performance people? Do you have to teach them the language of brand as well and bringing them together? How does the organization structure work?
Yeah. So we have, tools that help us. Like, we launched a AI super studio. We're launching this year. That helps us create tons and tons of assets and content at scale inexpensively. We have a analytics team, so really helping deep dive into what's going to perform well, doing predictive analytics. We have a pretty robust media team. So I think it's combining the sort of science and analytics side with more of the creative, strategic side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've mentioned this a couple times in the podcast. Like, since I started my business, I forgot about brand. Like, I just care as a founder, CEO myself. I feel like I just care about performance, and I always forget, like, we have to build a larger brand. So I feel like going to an agency that thinks about both, takes care of both, is so important. But founders probably want just like, where's the ROI? How can I get more sales on my service or product? And like, I care about performance. What do you say?
You just have to think of short and long term. I think most CMOs or marketers that have been in the game for a while realize the importance of long-term brand value, and they complement each other when you're doing both together. But you're also, you're doing a podcast that's 5 years old. That's helping build your brand, but might not necessarily be delivering like performance numbers, right? Like, so you are thinking about doing both.
Yeah. I just think that it's important to the listeners and like even the brand side people. Like, I mean, I study advertising. I've been in the business. I've talked to the best agency leaders. And then when I stepped into my CEO position, I'm like, okay, let's get back to performance. Like, this is what matters. Right. So I think it's a good reminder. And going to an agency like you guys that takes care of both sides of that is really nice to hear about. And it's worked,
so
right?
It works pretty well, yeah.
You've got Peloton you've worked with, Ben & Jerry's in the past. Is this correct?
Yeah.
And Harvard even talks about some of your work?
Yeah, we had some case studies at Harvard.
What is Harvard saying? What are they're showing the case studies? How does that work?
Yeah, we did in the past a lot of like big influencer programs, and that was kind of like at the advent of when creators were taking over, and how we helped build some Pepsi brands through influencer work. So that's taught at Harvard through a case study. But we, we're kind of always trying to think about, like, that's why we launched this AI Super Studio. Our take on AI is how can we do Gen AI and create, volume of content through the studio. And so we're always kind of thinking about that next thing and what clients are looking for. But we've had like longstanding clients, Charles Schwab, Amtrak, Alaska Airlines, been with us for years and years.
Do you guys do that new Amtrak crazy ad? Was that you guys?
No, that was their social media agency.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But Amtrak's a good example of like putting brand and performance together, because when we won the business, we came up with this new big platform called Retrain Travel, because the idea was that Amtrak was kind of losing. People were thinking about driving or taking the plane versus taking an Amtrak train. So the idea of Retrain Travel is really like reorienting the audience with the option that you can travel by train. Yeah. And so that's like the big brand side, and we did a bunch of brand work and brand acts around that. And then everything we put out, the emails, daily content, digital, that all is wrapped around Retrain Travel and why traveling by train is the best option. And things like there's no traffic, no middle seat, reasons why you should be traveling on a train. And it's been working really well. They've their cost per acquisition is down 40%. Their ridership's been up, so
that's great.
It's killing it.
Yeah, you have to think about all the different touch points and like the consumer journey and like on all sides of that, or all layers of that funnel. It seems like you guys are doing that really well. So that's good to know. And yeah, I think you guys Where you got offices here in New York? Where else
Yeah.
you got offices?
New York, we have a contingent of folks in LA, New York, San Francisco, Seattle. We also have offices in Toronto and Montreal. So really U.S. and Canada.
Yeah. Can we talk about the ownership structure?
Sure, yeah.
How does that work? Because you guys was it acquired recently?
We got acquired in 22
22.
by a private network called Plus Company, which it's private equity backed. It's Canadian based, and so yeah, we got acquired about 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Plus Company. Who else is in their portfolio?
So they have We Are Social,
Gotcha.
so biggest global social network. We have Citizen, PR. Have you heard of those guys?
No,
Okay.
but that's good. You got PR, social, you guys.
We got PR Social. We got us, Cassette, which is a massive creative and media agency in Canada.
Nice.
And then another agency called Narrative Group, which is kind of more on the influencer experiential side. So that's most of the agencies.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What made them a good fit?
So when we decided, we had been running the company for about 18 years from when we started. We were independent the whole time, never took any backing or money.
Sure.
Bootstrapped it, and we grew it to pretty good size, pretty healthy size. And then when the pandemic happened, sort of when you started the podcast, we realized that brands started pulling back and not spending, and we realized we're building this thing. It's doing really well, but at any point something could happen, and we would kind of be on our own, or we could start to shrink. Even infectious disease could stop the. There's so many elements out of your control. We decided, well, we want to keep growing this thing, but we want to have a partner to help us. So we're not just doing it on our own. So we got to a certain size, pandemic happened, we started thinking about it. And then, then we met with a bunch of companies and made the attempt to sell.
I'm sure that process was crazy. Did you?
It was insane, dude.
I mean, what'd you learn from that process?
Well, when you said, what was important to us, it was important for us to, be with a group that respected our brand, that didn't want to absorb us or merge us into something else.
We're seeing a lot of that today.
A lot of that's happening.
And what do you mean? The consolidation, you get rid of agency names, you fold it in.
Yeah.
Because the agency brand would probably be your favorite part of the business.
I mean, if you're going to be building something, you want to have the brand, Yeah, it's important. So that brand, keeping the brand was important. And then, letting the founders still be in charge and run it was also, those were kind of two factors we were looking for beyond, what we were selling it for.
Gotcha. Founders in this situation is you and your partner.
Yeah. Then,
Gotcha.
we started it with 4 of us.
Yeah.
So Tommy Means, Ian Kovalik, and Pete Caven. So
Gotcha.
2 of us are in the east, 2 of us are on the west.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Got it. How's it been? Good?
The acquisition? Yeah, it's been good.
Good.
I mean, we expanded into Canada. They're doing a lot in terms of creating a predictive intelligence engine that we wouldn't be able to have without that, which really helps in media and on the science side of what we sell. So yeah, it's been a good experience.
Frick yeah.
But the first year is very challenging when you make a move like that.
Yeah.
Because you're becoming part of something when you've run it on your own for so long. Once I got over that first year, it started to really kind of work. But
because
first year was tough.
You're on your own for 18 years, doing whatever you wanted, thinking about things and executing.
Then you have to run things by someone. You gotta.
And then after that year, you get used to it, and you know
how it works.
Yeah.
But that first year is a real learning curve.
Yeah. So that was 2022.
22. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Middle of 22. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I want to know how you broke into this business, throwing it way back. When did you realize you want to be a part of the ad making process?
So when I was a kid, I watched a lot of TV,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the ads in between all the shows, and I was like, that's someone's doing those. Like, what? Those are. I always like would think, did that talk to me? Did that work? Was it effective? Do I want, to buy those waffles or that toy or those jeans or whatever?
Because
it
they were
might
probably
be?
marketing directly to you as a kid and then.
Yeah, and so even early on, maybe like 12 or 13, I was like, that seems like a cool thing to do for work.
Most kids want to skip the ads or like they.
Yeah, well now
Change the channel.
no one watches ads.
No.
You skip them.
Although some of the streamings, I'm not streaming that much. Like the Amazon Prime ads are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like some of those streaming ads, I'm like, this is good. Like I
Yeah.
haven't watched a commercial natively or like on my system
Yeah.
in a long time.
Yeah.
So some of them are pretty damn good.
I think they are good. I think streaming's serving up a ton of ads now. And
It's just
yeah.
now it's just like classic.
It's just like
television.
TV. So streaming's just become like
Yeah.
like TV. So which is good for the business because you got to fill all the places that you would run ads.
Mm-hmm.
But back to me as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I always knew I wanted to go into advertising, and so when I went to school and got out, I tried to break into the business.
Okay.
And
Where'd you go to school? What'd you study?
I actually studied business and economics.
Nice.
Because I wanted that like kind of background. Because I also knew I wanted to start something eventually.
Gotcha.
So not just break into the industry, but start.
Where did that
start-
entrepreneur fire come in?
I don't know. That was just sort of my MO.
Any parents in the
No,
entrepreneur?
No, they're
advertising
both
space?
teachers,
So-
and still don't really know what I do for work.
That's funny.
They like. I'm sure your folks are the same
Yeah,
way. Like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
is that a job that you have? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
no,
do?
definitely.
So I kind of just, anyway, as a young kid, knew I wanted to go in advertising. Through school, I was like, oh, I'm going to eventually start something, but I want to go work at a couple places and learn, and then figure out what I liked and what I didn't like about those places, and then that would help me eventually, launch my own thing.
Wow.
And so I know it's
The knowledge early on is such an advantage for the people
knowing
that-
what you want to do.
Yeah, early as possible. It
Yeah.
seems like that's great. So if we can get this show in the eyes of high schoolers, like they
Yeah,
would
yeah,
crush it.
Yeah. And when you even think about the business, you don't realize how many aspects to the business there, obviously there's
Types of agencies, like
There's
we
creative,
already named
strategy, media,
named like
yeah.
so many, like
Yeah, yeah.
PRs, experiential.
yeah, and production, like you don't even think about like production
It's
as,
a whole world.
as a side.
It's a huge world.
Yeah.
We went to the AICP awards,
Oh, did you? Oh, sick.
and like the most amount of people I've ever seen in like one location. Like
That's crazy, right?
just like nonstop people everywhere, all in this production world. I have no clue what they do.
Yeah.
I'm.
Well, there's editors, sound design, music, like
That's a
it's
whole
just,
other
like, never end.
podcast. It's a whole
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
sector of breaking entering. Could be just.
Were you
production.
guys filming there?
No, we
Oh.
just showed up.
You just showed up.
like was
Just to check it
intimidated
out.
by all the people there.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Did you wear a suit?
Yeah, more a pretty cool suit,
Oh, cool.
like a cool sport jacket thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I it was hard to break in.
Mhm.
It's still hard to break in,
Mhm.
and so the first job I got out of school was actually doing promotions. So I went to it was in outside of LA, and it was what was the name of the company? I can't even remember the name of the company. It's no longer around, but it was a promotion company, and I would do field work. Like I would go to. It was for Miller Coors. We would go to like retail stores and put up like these inflatables.
Oh yeah. Like in
I
store
was, like-
activation
yeah,
stuff.
I was doing like that type of like
spin the
on
wheel
ground.
for a free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have the
Interesting.
Miller models like sign photos and give them to people. Like I was driving stuff around, setting it up, wearing my like Miller shirt. I was like a infield promotional guy.
But it was like an agency. It wasn't for.
It was a promotional agency hired by
brands would hire.
Yeah, and for me, it was not what I wanted to be doing, but it was in the industry. So for me, it was like breaking in any way I could. And then my second job was at a design studio in LA. So it was like, infield guy working at a design studio, and then finally working in an advertising agency.
What were you doing at the design studio?
I was just managing accounts.
Okay, yeah. So the account track. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
We were doing like banks and like random stuff, but it was like a tiny design studio. But for me, breaking in was less about like finding the perfect spot, but it was getting my foot close enough into what I wanted to be doing that I would eventually get there. So it was like a series of like breaking into the field. Yeah.
Yes. And you knew, was the goal creative ad agency, like full service?
Yeah, it was.
It
was always the goal, but it took me like 3 jobs to get there.
What was the hot shop at that time when you were in college and you had this, or like, what was on your radar?
Well, I always wanted to work at TBWA Chiat. Like Chiat was like for me the gold standard. Like that was the hot shop, which I eventually ended up working at. But that's what I wanted, like to work at that or Wyden, like like top tier creative agency. I thought if I had one of those two, I would be like I would have made it.
Still to this day, those are still great shops.
Still amazing shops, and so it just took me like a couple roundabout ways to get there.
So when did you pivot from? When did you break into that creative agency? That was after the design studio.
It was design studio, and then I actually went to. Have you heard of Ketchum?
Yeah.
And so
PR.
It's more PR, but they also used to have Ketchum advertising, and so I went up to I got a job in San Francisco there after like mailing out, 1 million to 1 million agencies, like handwritten notes asking for, like I have this experience, I want to break in, and finally got a job there, and then moved from there to Chiat. But once I got, so it's really going from like infield promotion work to design to a full service agency to the agency I wanted to work at. So it was like a whole.
And that process was how many years till you got to Ketchum, would you say?
Maybe like, to Ketchum, maybe 4 years, and then to Chiat, maybe 5 or 6 years.
So you get in the Chiat.
And then I was like, fuck, dude, this is like amazing.
I'm curious then, when you got into Chiat, you're in the account.
Yeah, account side, yeah.
And that's, okay. So when you get into Chiat, do you feel behind? Like, do you feel like, shit, now I have to hustle?
I never felt like that.
Okay.
I always felt like I might not be the smartest, but I'll work the hardest. And
that field sales role.
I kind of had that mindset. Oh, dude, that was the worst.
David Ogilvy was a door-to-door salesperson.
Was he really?
Yeah. Before he got into the business.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
But he probably never had to take down an inflatable.
No.
Yeah. Probably never had.
No. I think he sold ovens.
Didn't stoop that low. Yeah. No. Sold ovens. So anyway, I got that job, and we were working on cool brands like Levi's and PlayStation, and it was a blast. And then from there I was like, all right, I want to work on brands I love at agencies I really admire. And then when I'm still young enough, had the balls to like start something, that was my next move after that. So it kind of all came together, but it was, you never get to where you want to go at the beginning. You have to like wait it out and be patient, and then get that experience. So I had to get the experience under my belt, and it works differently for different people, but I had to get that experience to get to the agency I wanted, to learn at those agencies I wanted, so that I could start my own agency.
When did you know it was time to start your own agency? Because you've always had this in your game plan, in your career map, if you will.
Yeah. Well, I started a production company first that was inside a small agency, and that was my first like kind of entrepreneurial. We did branded content, and I was kind of doing it on my own, and then I realized I really want to do the advertising side, the full service advertising business. Even though, but we started as a production company when we worked on Mechanism with the other co-founders. So I took my production experience, and then we created this like creative production group called Mechanism.
So when you created this first production company, it was while you were working at an ad agency.
Yeah, they let me start something inside something.
So smart, because agencies like kind of like reward entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur, and like it's a safe space. Yeah. Like you don't own it necessarily. It's just a vertical.
Right.
They'll give you the funds.
Correct.
Sure, you try it out for 6 months. We'll give you this budget. You can do that. I've
do
heard that. I think Nice and Frank, those founders did something.
And it's
similar.
it's low risk. It's low risk for the person starting it, and it's low risk for the whoever's the agency that they're starting it under. So it's a good way to do it.
And then you take those learnings and you got some momentum, and then when you're ready to dip out and start your own thing, you can do that. You take a couple clients with you too.
Yeah. What I realized though in starting my own thing is, for me, doing something on my own, it wasn't for me. I needed partners.
Yeah.
And so when I found other partners that were, we all came from different experiences. I'm an agency guy. There was a director. There was a design person. There was a digital guy. So when we started, we all had different skills, like the Super Friends. That was more exciting for me, starting something with other people, because when I had done it on my own, although it was pretty successful, it was, you're doing like the invoicing and the billing and the selling and the making, and it was just like exhausting.
For sure.
You need to have different swim lanes with other people where you can divide up the work, and that was also infinitely more rewarding. The highs and the lows when you share it with someone is just, I'm sure you experience it. It's just much better and much healthier when you're doing it in partnership.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I remember Jack and I, when we first started, we're working in our apartment, which is a 1-bed, and we would, if we sold something, like even if it was like, a couple $100, when we first started, we would get the JBL speaker, we would play the song Feds Watching by 2 Chainz, and we'd start dancing and partying.
Amazing.
Like just like freaking out that somebody
spending that $200 on alcohol.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like because our mentor, like our business mentor who's outside the industry, was like, nobody's going to buy anything from you guys right now besides like your family and friends.
Right.
And then when we did that, like that was like a big like proving point to us and to him that we can, like there is interest in us, because we kind of took a risk there, but
yeah.
And then we celebrate that. Now to this day, if we do a big deal, if you look at my personal Instagram story and you see Feds Watching, that means
you made a deal.
We sold something.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So you guys do that together, and it's imagine doing it on your own.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be fun. It would just be like, well, I have nobody to share this with.
But there's plenty of people that have started their own agencies, and they enjoy being solopreneurs, but that wasn't for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So how old were you when you first started?
I was about 30, I think.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Now, this could get into like all the advice you have for entrepreneurs, but I want to bring it back in to the aspiring advertising professionals, people that want to get that first job at that TBWA or Mechanism today.
Yeah.
So like looking back at your career and, from field sales to design studio to Ketchum to TBWA, what would you say maybe to yourself at that time to expedite that process?
To
get that thing
because
faster.
I kind of went around in my career. I would, I never really networked when I was younger. It was more, and I certainly like reached out to people and asked for jobs, but the power of, knowing one person in the industry that can introduce you to 10 people in the industry, or even just outreaching people that you admire. You'd be surprised at how infrequently those people get contacted, and I think just being bolder and not asking for a job, but asking for advice or counsel. People that are experienced love giving counsel, love giving advice, because that's sort of their way of like paying back is like helping other people, and
it helps them reflect too.
It helps them like really digest.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I am the
I did
CEO and founder.
I did kind of come a long way. And
Yeah.
it's not just what's in front of me, but I should celebrate, all the work that's happened, and so I think that idea of like just doing an honest outreach and saying not saying do you have any jobs for me, but can I do a 15-minute Zoom with you? I've got questions about the industry. Can I take you out for coffee? I have questions about the industry. I'd love to learn about your career. That will get you much farther than like emailing a bunch of people asking for a job.
Totally.
And so that building your network, early on while you're starting, and making connections and reaching out like is invaluable. And don't be afraid. You're just thinking in your mind, well, they're never going to respond. And that might be true, but you're going to get some response, and really look at like, who are the 20 people I want to meet with? Mm-hmm. And you'll probably get 5 of them that will meet with you and take the time, and they'll think about you and they'll introduce you to people. And having that kind of hunger mindset and being a little bit patient will get you pretty far. And I never thought about doing that. I just was applying for anything I could get, and then applying for something that was a little closer to what I wanted. And I never did the networking thing. Mm-hmm. But that networking thing is very, very important and valuable.
Totally. Yeah. Now you have to do it all the time for new business. It's the same thing.
That's all I do. Yeah.
The parallels between new business and finding a job are crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
I've just noticed that because I did a little new business stint of like networking, staying in touch with potential clients versus a hiring manager. It's so similar.
The other piece of advice I would have is you would be surprised at how unprepared people are when, like, let's say you do that networking and you want to meet with someone. Mm-hmm. Really knowing the person's career and body of work and what they've done, mm-hmm. even in people that we interview when we're looking for talent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of people that hey, what's your favorite piece of work we've done, mm-hmm. or what brand would you want to work on? They might not even know a brand or something that we worked on, And so I would say networking. Don't be afraid to reach out. And also do your research.
Yeah, literally look up Mekanism, go to news section on easy. Google. Yeah. And then listen to a couple of the podcasts.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of built this thing out.
That's kind of common sense, but that a lot of people bypass.
You can tell right away, they got to be excited and they got to be knowledgeable in an interview. Just I'm pumped. I know what I want to do. I know I want to work with you guys on these brands, and here's why.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right. You got to go in the next round.
You got to bring the passion and the knowledge, mm-hmm. and it's not that hard.
No. Well, if you make it to the room, they've already saw your resume.
Right.
You already have probably most of the skills necessary to do the job.
Right.
So now it's just got a wow factor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably hired a lot of people in your career.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some questions you like to ask? Some usual recurring ones you go to.
Well, I always like to see if people, how much they love the industry, mm-hmm. So simple questions like what's been out there that's catching your eye, mm-hmm. What draws you to certain brands and why, like what brands do you love and why do you love those brands? If you could design your dream job, what would it be? Questions like that, so that that they're in love with the industry, they're thinking about the industry, they know what they like. Mm-hmm. They have smart commentary. It also gives you a good sense of their kind of creative aesthetic, and if they have taste and kind of how they think, because mm-hmm. that's really important. No matter what role you have, you've got to be able to identify great work.
For sure. Yeah. You accountant folks out there, you got to listen up to that for sure. But I had the best interview question. They asked me what show are you watching? I said Ozarks at the time. They're like, how would you promote Ozarks?
That's a
Like,
great question.
I was like, let's freaking go.
What did you say?
I was like, well, let's pick a target audience.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let's do college students because it's easy. I'm a college student. And I think it was like something around like the intro of Ozarks had like different icons.
Symbols?
Yeah, in the beginning of each one.
Yeah.
I would just put like some school logos on there, just different college campuses, and like put those on.
Oh, that's pretty
the
cool.
college. Yeah, not bad for 20. I would remember being in a car ride. I think it was like going to formal or something.
Did you get the job?
I did get the job.
Really? Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like, I was amped up.
Yeah.
I was like, let's freaking go. I was like, but I said, I need a minute here. I'm thinking, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't rush into it. And I was like, all right. And then I kind of workshopped it with them.
I love that question.
Yeah.
Because that question is, because you've been watching it, they know it's something of interest. Mm-hmm. And then how do I promote something that you're interested in? What would you do?
For sure.
It's a pretty good idea.
And then I even said, like, when I was doing interviews for like PR and comms for the agency, I gave this hypothetical. I'm like, all right, Havas Chicago wins Nike. Hypothetical, of course. How are we putting this out to the world? What are you going to do? And then I would hear that from different people I was interviewing, and I would like go through the process with them and like figure out what their thinking is.
Yeah,
like how excited they would get.
Yeah, I like that. It's also like, are you quick on your feet?
For sure.
Yeah.
And then can I spitball with you too?
Right,
if I'm
right,
like
right.
a direct report.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thinking style? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like, I could step in if you need me.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, and I think, to be successful today, I think the really just making sure you're doing the work that maybe you're not asked to do. Mm-hmm. Doing that extra thing that like not just waiting for your manager to say, hey, here's what I need you to do, and then you doing it or running that one account. It's doing that extra thing. Mm-hmm. That extra thing. Hey, I had this idea, let me run it by you. And that's going to promote you much quicker in an advertising agency environment, mm-hmm. because you're doing that, like that X factor, that extra thing that no one asked for. But I think this agency could benefit from this idea that I've been thinking about, and I put a deck together. And I want to show the like C-suite my ideas. Whether they take your idea or not, they're gonna see that you're like thinking and passionate.
Love it, and I like how putting like a little bit of extra, like the deck to it.
Yeah, you gotta have
here's like a project plan, something to it. So it's not like that person that's like, what we should do.
Right.
And they're just like in passing, and just like that constant person.
I'll put like a timeline. Who would work on it?
I already got 3 people that are down to do this.
Yeah.
Like we found extra time.
Yeah.
Here's the mock-up.
Exactly.
And like shows like this thing can be, and then sometimes I'll be like, all right, let's go do it.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Like you put that idea together, you got to do it.
And I think there's so, in the space, there's so many, so many talented people, but why do you want to work at this agency versus another agency? Mm-hmm. What do you see in this agency that makes you want to work here? And then what are you going to bring? How are you going to make it better? How are you going to make this place better? And, because I think there's kind of a mindset that you want to work in the space, but any agency is fine. Like they're interchangeable. Mm-hmm. And I think they're all really distinct.
For sure.
You got to find the right one. Yeah.
And hey, I get it though. Sometimes the job market's tough and any agency's great, if they're struggling for a while and they really need a job. I kind of get that too. But then dive a little bit deeper. You're saying like, okay,
well,
you have to figure out what you like about the agency.
But this agency, fine, that makes sense. Like this agency is betting on you. What are you going to do to return the favor? And say, all right, here's a culture thing we could do that would internally improve the agency, or here's an offering we could offer that would make us a little distinctive. So, embrace the place you're at and make it a little bit better based on, your how you see the industry.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. What else we want to talk about to the next generation? Let's say your kids are going into advertising. Would you recommend that? They're in high school? That's a crazy question.
No, it's a good question. I'd be happy if they went into advertising. I think it's a great industry.
You paused for a while there.
Well, I think it's
It's not going to be the same ad industry you started.
Well, no,
in.
I think the industry's changed so much, you know, and whenever you've been in any industry for a long period of time, you're always like, well, it used to be easier, or clients spent more, or it was less competitive, or whatever it might be. So that always kind of is my first instinct, is like, now's not a time for someone new, like for my kids to think about it. But I quickly, why I paused is I quickly kind of reversed that. And the industry's always been hard, and it's always been threatened, and it's always changing. And it's just the way it is. You know, there's in-housing is going to do away with agencies because marketers are going to do it all themselves. Or, you know, social media is going to cut the need for advertising, or influencers will kill it, or AI will kill it. There's always something that's coming up. But the industry's a cockroach, and it'll always be here, and it'll survive, and it'll mold and morph and figure out a new way. So saying it's still a great profession, super fun, really smart people, really creative environment. It's a blast. So I would be happy if my kids did it.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love
but
that.
that's why I paused, because it's changed so much.
I like that. And thanks for walking us through that thought process. So if you didn't go into advertising, what would have been the career?
I was in a lot of, I played bass in a lot of bands. And I thought about maybe doing that.
Hey, it's never too late for that.
Nah, it's like a habit for me. So I don't know. I wouldn't.
You don't play in a band after on the weekends or anything?
No, I wouldn't do that now. But I would want to do something in music.
Got it.
Something related, like, I don't know, work at a label or an agent or something related. Take like business skills and apply it to music.
Love it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. What would you do?
Me, I would be a barber.
Wait, for real?
I think so, yeah.
Do you know how to cut hair?
No.
Okay.
But that would be my thing. Because you talk to people.
Yeah.
And you're never getting replaced by like any technology,
another barber?
no other industry.
Oh, I see. It's impervious to tech.
For sure. Everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And I feel like with the hair care medication stuff, like balding's going to go away.
Yeah.
So it's like, then there's even more of a need for
more hair.
Barbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
You never thought about that? Like, you never thought about like your I guess like career option like that? Like you go be a ski instructor potentially? I don't know.
No, I never really thought about that.
No, me neither.
What would your barbershop be called?
Probably like Geno's Cuts.
I think we can beat that.
G Cuts.
G Cuts?
G Cuts.
All right.
I also wanted to open up a deli, Geno's Meat. Geno's Meats. It's like an Italian thing. This is like the Brian Bonilla cut all over again.
Oh my God, Geno's
I
Meats.
just started sweating.
That is so bad.
Geno's Meats. Geno's Meat.
Which is it, meats or meat?
I don't know. You didn't like the meat one.
Oh, fuck.
That is the episode. Jason, how can people reach out to you if they have any questions?
You can find me, midday getting a sandwich at Geno's Meats.
It's not plural.
At Geno's Meat. At Jason_Harris on Instagram. You can find me, Jason Harris, on LinkedIn. And yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming on. Sir.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Boom.